little more, it's a bit uncomfortable, so that all our relatives, our neighbors, can each have an insurance fund scheme. That's why people are opposing it. So ukisikia vita, ni vita ya watu ya siasa. Deputy President, Governor, mbunge, because hao wabunge, wacha niseme tu, because nilikuwa senator juzi, walikuwa wanakatwa 1700, sasa wanakatwa 30,000. They are the ones opposing it, sio hawa from other places. Now your 30,000 is so that you stop doing 100 harambes in your constituency every day. In fact, you spend more money in those harambes than the 30,000 to ensure everybody gets a medical insurance. So, na tumesema ule mtu ya mwisho tumepunguza, sio 500 ni 300. So how can you oppose a cheaper medical scheme? Na tumesema we are developing a means testing tool so that the person who is assessed and they can't pay the 300, they get the insurance free of charge. Hapo ndio fitina inakujia hapo. Because wale wako na pesa wataki kunini, wanataka kukaa hapo, watu maskini huko chini wao wana beg and worshiping them to come and do fundraisers for them, because they have sold the farm, they have sold the cow, they have sold the chicken, they have sold everything. They are poor, the last resort. Mheshimiwa DP kuja tuchangie harambee. And because you want to keep people needy, you oppose it so that you'll be there to throw a few coins. Alafu napigwa makofi, hey, Mheshimiwa, you are a great man, may you live forever. Okay? It took the courage of President Obama to get Obamacare in America. Although the Supreme Court amended it a bit, it is what is serving America today. And we thank God Obama became president before the current president, because I don't think it would have sailed through under the current administration. So, President Kibaki, brilliant son of Kenya, tried to bring universal health coverage. Politics stood on the way. And he was advised by the characters around it, let us be popular. Sisi tuko na insurance. Acha watu wafanye mambo yao. President Ruto, or President Uhuru, before I come to President Ruto, well-meaning, well-intentioned, introduced housing, introduced universal health care. Politics came through. He pulled back. Good people, this time round, we are not pulling back. By the grace of God, by the time we go to the next general election, we are hoping 40,000 people of the Republic of Kenya will have a medical cover. As we go towards universality. Million, sorry, please correct that. I hope watu ya magazeti hawataenda ku. You guys sometimes concentrate on the small things. 35 million to 40 million. It doesn't matter how costly it is. Please. It doesn't matter. Even if we don't win the election, President Ruto doesn't win the election, it's okay. There's no problem. You'll have served as president anyway. Isn't it a blessing even to serve even for 5 years, even for 1 year, even for 1 day? How many Kenyans are there? Every Kenyan is qualified to be president. If you are lucky to be in the seats we occupy, including UMPs, including myself, including you, Governor, don't consider yourself like a superhuman. It's the grace of God. Yeah. So usitutishe ati rais a one-term president. And pia watu wengine wanatutisha huko jana. Ati our job is to make sure William Ruto is a one-term president. That is your objective. Hiyo tu. Just that. And you will have achieved a lot. President Ruto is lucky to be among the 5 Kenyans who have occupied the seat of President of Kenya. Some 24 years. Others, 10 years. If he gets 5, so be it. If he gets how many days, so be it. There are many qualified people. The same for me. I told you when I became Minister for Interior, niliangalia siasa nikasema, at least the first time labda nitaserve hapa. Maybe if we win a re-election, maybe the president will take me in another ministry, I don't know. But I thought perhaps I would stay for 5 years. I stayed for 2. So I had to work every day as if that is the last day in office. Yeah. Mimi nimekuwa naibu wa rais. Today is the 89th day in office. I am working as if this is it. Hakuna siku ingine ni tu. That's how I'm working, because you don't know. We live and work by the grace of God. There was somebody in this office. Today is not here. Now he's giving us ultimatum from funerals. How he will make William Ruto a one-term president. As if that is an achievement. William Ruto's objective is not to serve for 2 terms. It is to use the time that God will give him in office to bring transformative programs in 1, 2, 3 areas and then leave so that other people can come and take Kenya forward. As his principal assistant, that is my objective too, to support him. So msikuja kututisha na 1 term, my friend. Mimi kwanza nimekuwa DP 89 days ni mingi. Yeah, nikitoka nitakuwa nimekuwa deputy president. Listi kisomo hata mimi nitakuwa hapo. Unatishwa na mambo kidogo hapa, sijui 2027 who will be the running mate, mambo ya upuzi. Useless. Na greed, that's what greed does to leaders. Yeah. Ile nyama inakujonga ni ile iko kwa sahani. Yeah. You get something and the next thing you're there scheming, I don't know doing what, harassing everybody. My friend, nani alikuambia hata tutakuwa ile? You don't know, so please. So sisi tuko focus. Na kama unatutisha na 1 term, tafuta another threat. Even 1 term is okay. Yeah, it's no problem. But the issue is, after that 1 term, what will he say? If William Ruto will say, at the end of my first term, I have moved the people insured with a health card from 9 million to 40 million, he will be a successful Kenyan. Sindio? Yeah, so sisi tuko hapo. Then we also want to do educational reforms, because education is what runs the entire country. It's the software that runs the country. And we have issues. The CBC had some issues when we were campaigning. Many parents were saying, scrap CBC. So we had to do some adjustment, and I'm grateful to the scholars and the people who were in the Presidential Working Party. They have re-looked at some of the proposals. CBC now is fairly getting steady. But we have issues with the university funding model. Many universities were almost becoming bankrupt. We came with a new model. There are small issues in court. We are even adjusting for the September intake to take on board the suggestions that have been given. If you talk to many vice chancellors today, they will tell you this current proposal from Kenya Kwanza is more stable to the university than what we used to have before. There are some gaps. We are adjusting those gaps. The same with health. There are some gaps in Taifa Care, but we are adjusting those gaps along the way. And let me tell you, good people, it is better to have an imperfect health coverage for every Kenyan than no coverage at all. Sinamna hiyo? If every Kenyan has a card, maybe as insurance, maybe it is not perfect, because all human enterprises are not perfect. But that's a better conversation, how we can perfect it, than millions of our people begging alms, literally begging. And their leaders spending their entire whatever they have. Some even go into their businesses to fund medical harambes. So, the reason we are focused on Taifa Care, housing, reviving these sectors, I have said, macroeconomic stability, support infrastructure, the reason is because they will transform Kenya. They will make Kenya better than we found it 2 years ago. Many more people will have bearable living conditions than they were when we took over. If in the process we suffer popularity consequences, so be it. I conclude by saying, sasa nyinyi mnatoka Tharaka Nithi. Deputy President ya Kenya alizaliwa hapo. Please, I have no power to... whatever you decide is within your power. Maybe elsewhere I have some power, I have some leverage, but at home I have no power. Because you are my neighbors, you are my relatives. So you decide. Nyinyi mu decide. You decide.